Hello everyone, I'm Leah Dixon in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I am here for my regular Tuesday morning Facebook Live. Really sorry for hopping on so late this morning. I was having massive tech difficulties. My computer and my phone did not want to talk to each other, but restarted everything and got that all sorted out. So I am ready to go and do some creating with you this morning. If you saw my post last night, I actually put some measurements there in case you wanted to craft along with me. The layout that I'm using today is one that was actually a mystery stamping from my team meeting. Oh, hi, Cindy. And so I put those dimensions up there, and if you grabbed some DSP and want to craft along with me, that'd be awesome. I'm actually using some stuff today that unless you are a demonstrator, you won't actually have access to yet. It's some product out of our new mini catalog. So hopefully if you are a customer of mine, you have received your catalogs from me by now. So you would have received your mini catalog, which is our August to December publication with all of like the Christmas and Halloween, Thanksgiving and all that. And then you would have also received this little brochure called Sale-a-bration. Now this one's filled with some really cool stuff too, but you can't buy any of it. These are all of the prizes that you earn for buying stuff out of our regular catalog or our new mini catalog. Hi, Lila. And you actually earn these. So with every $60 order, so when we come on in here, this bedazzling paper on the first page. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to show you guys that. Here, I'll grab the bedazzling paper. So when you guys open up that Sale-a-bration catalog and you see that bedazzling paper on that first page, here it is. It's like a disco on paper. It's crazy, you guys. You can earn that for free with a $60 purchase once Sale-a-bration starts on August 3rd. And there's like other gorgeous stuff. There's this really, really cute penguin paper and all sorts of really, really nice stuff. So hopefully you have that catalog already and have been able to browse through it and are enjoying it. If you don't have yours yet, just send me a message. It may be in the mail and just taking a little longer. Like Lila, I've sent yours to you, so hopefully you've received them. And maybe you weren't on my mailing list, and then I have extras here that I can get out to you. So Sale-a-bration is starting on August 3rd. I am kicking it off with a bang, and I'm offering a product share. And so basically what a product share is you can get in on like a DSP share where all of the DSPs in our mini catalog, you get like one of each of the patterns. There's ribbon shares where you get 2 yards of each of the ribbons in the mini catalog. I have an embellishment share where like I've got these little embellishments, you'd get like half a pack or something, and but of everything. And so I have it all listed out, and there's a link to it in my video description here. Oh, I'm so glad, Lila. So there's a link in my video description to all the details about what comes in the share. So I have a designer series paper share, a ribbon share, an embellishment share, and a specialty paper share. We're going to be using one of the specialty papers today. And then I have an I want it all share. And so you get all 4 of the different shares that I'm offering for one slightly discounted price. So it's kind of a great way to get everything without having to buy like whole packages of things and break the bank. So check out all the details on that. So all week long, I'm going to be doing some Christmas crafting. I kind of start to get the need in August to get my Christmas cards created because September rolls around, I'm a teacher, I get really busy, and then I don't want to be trying to rush and make my Christmas cards at the same time as like writing and filling them in and everything and getting them mailed out in December. So I like to have them all made before summer break ends. So with that being said, I'm going to switch my screen over and I'm going to show you guys some new product. So here we are. This is the Frosted Gingerbread Bundle. Well, and so actually technically this is the bundle, the stamp set and dies. And they are gorgeous and just so much fun. Last year when we had that paper pumpkin with the little gingerbread houses, I was like, oh, we need gingerbread stuff, and then they came through. And then kind of to fill out the suite, they have this awesome designer series paper, and it's got like stripes and dots and swirls and icing and peppermint and all sorts of things. But what's super cool too is you'll see that some of these papers have like just the cookies on them. Well, the dies, you guys, the dies cut these out beautifully. So if you want that gorgeous decorated cookie and you don't want to do the hard work of cutting out the die and coloring everything in and all that, you just cut out this designer series paper and smack that onto your card and you're ready to go. But we also have the dies here, so you could create a cookie and then cut out the icing and put it on top and do all of that. So really, really fun paper. And then you're like, oh, but you know, it's a lot of work for the cookie and all that. They've given us the craft paper. This is one of the specialty papers that we're going to be using. They've given us the craft paper in 6x6, and this makes the perfect cookie base, you guys. And then you cut out your white icing and put it on top, and away you go. Now, I'm not actually doing any of that on today's card. I'm going to bring it in. I'm really kind of focusing in. Oh, sorry, and one more thing. To decorate up those cookies really beautifully, we have these gingerbread and peppermint acrylic shapes. And so you just glue these down onto your project, and you've got like all the little peppermint swirls and dots and like the little finishing touches for a gingerbread house and all of that. So super cute, really fun embellishments. All right, so this is what we're going to be working with. I'm going to move it out of the way so we can start crafting. And I'm going to bring in my material. So if you cut pieces and are crafting along with me, you will have just a standard card base. So 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. So just your standard card base. I'm using real red for mine because that's the red that's in this gingerbread designer series paper. All right, now the next piece that you should have is just a regular 4 by 5 1/4 mat for the background. I have chosen a piece of the craft paper for that, and although the craft paper is really nice, I am just gonna like step it up a tiny notch. I'm not going to bring my whole machine over here because I need the big guy for it, but I'm going to emboss it with the Tasteful Textile, so it's just going to give it even a little bit more substance there. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly pop that in and run it through. So for this layer, if you're crafting with me, you might have a piece of designer series paper, you might have a piece of cardstock that you want to emboss, but something that's going to give us like a nice little background here. And I am going to grab my liquid glue and glue this one right down. So while I'm doing this, I'll just let you know that this bundle, this gingerbread bundle, the stamp set and dies, is one of, I think there's 12 bundles that you can actually earn for free during Sale-a-bration. Sale-a-bration is the best time ever for, you know, getting those freebies when you place your $60 orders, but it's also the best time to join Stampin' Up! And join my InkPad Pals team, because you get your regular deal of $165 worth of product for only $135 and no shipping. That's a huge savings. But on top of that, during Sale-a-bration, they're letting you choose one of 12 bundles. So now I don't have them all to show you, and I'm not allowed to show you the inside of my catalog yet, but it's this Frosted Gingerbread Bundle that we're using today. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 12 different bundles. There's the penguins that go with that fun paper I showed you, some autumn stuff, some polar bears, a peaceful cabin, even the sweet little stockings and the peaceful deer. So there's so many. And if you have catalogs, you can find all that information on the very last page of the Sale-a-bration brochure. So this little guy, you go in and then flip it open, and it's on the very inside of the last page, it shows you the 12 bundles that are your options when you're choosing your free bundle if you sign up. So really, really cool. All right, so we've got our card base, we've got our layer that we've put in our background, and now I've got this strip of paper. So you might want to kind of do something to fancy this one up, stamp on it, emboss it, whatever. I'm going to leave mine plain because the papers I've chosen are really busy. All I'm going to do, and this is a 3/4 by 5-inch strip of paper that matches my background, all I'm going to do is come in here with my tailored tag punch and clip that end to make it a banner. You can do that however you do that, like paper snips or the banner punch or whatever you'd like. All right, and then I am going to actually glue this one straight down. No dimensionals, no nothing. I'm going crazy. I'm going to glue that down, and I'm actually going to use some seal on it just because it's super fast. One strip, and let's see if I can actually line this up. Here we go. So, and where it goes is just like not an exact science. I don't know, that's about 1 inch from the side. Not a big deal. Okay, next thing is we've got a piece of designer series paper. This one is cut at 3 by 2.5. And I'm going to use liquid glue on this one because it does need to be lined up a little bit better. Here we go. So some liquid glue on there. And I'm going to do this so it's just, I don't know, like 3/4 to 1 inch down and just in, like just covering that banner. I want to have lots of space over here for my other piece of designer series paper. Okay, there we go. And this is why I like the liquid glue, because now I can kind of shift it around. There we go. Okay. So, oh, hi, Joanne. Glad you could join us. All right, so we've got that. Now we have another piece of designer series paper. This one's cut 2 by 2, and we're going to pop it on there, but we're going to use dimensionals to do that. So now I had a pack of dimensionals in front of me, and as all my dimensionals do, they ran away. So let's grab another one. I don't know why. My dimensionals don't like sticking around my craft room. They just run away on me. They go hide. All right, pop that down. So I'm going to put 4 on there. It's kind of excessive for a 2 by 2 square, but whatever. All right, I'm going to pop this on here, and I'm going to let it kind of hang off. I'm going to put it down a little bit lower, though. There we go. So kind of just that double accent thing there happening. Now, the last piece for this card was actually, it called for a 2-inch circle. I'm actually not going to use a circle because I have these gorgeous dies, and there's no circle in here that's large enough, but this ornament piece is the perfect size. It's just about like a 2-inch circle, so I'm going to actually use that. And before I cut that, I'm actually going to grab my real red ink, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment first because it's a pretty tight fit for what I'm doing. So I've grabbed the sentiment that says "Sending you peppermint kisses," and I'm going to stamp that here on this scrap of white paper that I have. And actually, while I have this ink out, I'm going to grab my envelope and there we go. I love stamping on my envelopes. So I've also grabbed kind of like the little peppermint shapes, and I'm just going to stamp that on the front of my envelope. And I didn't do one on my sample card that I created either, so I'm going to do that quickly. There we go. So just cute little peppermints in the corner of the envelope. And actually, I'm realizing this card is red as well, which means... Oh, hi, Rebecca. I hope you're having a great time in Victoria. Your pictures of the Malahat tree thing looked amazing. So, guys, one thing that I didn't put on the instructions, because, of course, it depends on the paper you choose. I ended up choosing a dark paper. I could write on that, but I really don't like doing that. So I'm actually going to stamp some peppermints on the inside there as well. And then I'm going to glue this layer to the inside of my card so that we have a nice surface to write on inside our card. If you've made like a card with a really light background or white, like a white card base or something, then you don't need to do this, but you could still stamp something on the inside. But for me with this red, I don't like writing on that. There we go. Just makes a more finished looking card too, having that white layer inside. So I keep these white pieces pre-cut. I just keep like a giant stack of them. They're cut at 4 by 5 1/4, just like the mat on the front of our card. And I just keep a whole stack of them. Like when my white paper comes in, I cut my thick ones to make card bases and my plain ones to make these inserts. And I just have them sitting off to the side ready to go. Oh, hi, Nancy. Prince George. Oh, you guys are warm up there too, I think. This heat is killing me. I'm glad my stamp room's in the basement. All right. So now we stamped this sentiment. I'm going to bring in my baby boss here. And if you haven't seen it recently, I got a tip that instead of using the regular plate 1, actually use your plate 3 and your plate 2s to do your die cutting. And it actually runs through a lot more smoothly. Let's see if I can pull that up for you. So I've got plate 3, plate 2. Then I'm putting down my sentiment that I stamped, and I'm putting this die, and as you can see, it just fits around there. But that's okay. It's good. There we go. And then my second plate 2. And by doing this, we eliminate all the need to get like those fancy, like stagger them just right and not all the slipping that was happening with this mini die. It just makes everything seamless. There we go. All right, so put my baby boss away. Bring back, oh, there's a lint on my desk. Lovely. Bring this back. So now we've got this cute little ornament to work with, and I got some white scraps for later. Okay, put my die away so I don't lose it. Put my plates away. All right, now I could just pop this guy on right like that and he'd look fine, but I'm actually going to dress him up a bit. I'm going to grab this is a, I don't know, I think it's a 1/8 of an inch hole punch. Just grabbing a small hole punch, putting a little hole there. If you don't have that, you could always use your paper piercer to make a little hole in the top, and that would work as well. All right, then I'm going to grab my real red sheer ribbon, and I'm going to cut off 12 inches of it, which I know seems a little excessive for such a tiny little ornament, but I'm going to show you a little trick. To tying bows on here. Okay, come on, you gotta go back in there. There we go. So I'm actually going to take my whole length of ribbon, fold it in half, and then fold it again so that the trimming on that sheer ribbon kind of all comes together in a nice little point that I can pull through that hole. Now once I've got it a little ways through, I'm actually going to take these two ends, like the looped end out here, and I'm going to loop it around itself and tie a knot. And I'm going to kind of wiggle it around, trying to get that knot as close to the end of the ribbon as possible. Now the point of that is we're going to create like a blockage here so that that ribbon can't pull through our hole. And then I'm just going to take this little extra bit here, grab a piece of tape, just regular Scotch tape, and I'm going to tape that down on the back side. Okay, so that's done there. So we've just kind of secured that so it won't, for sure, won't pull through. Now with my pieces here, I'm going to tie a bow. I find though when I'm not tying a knot, if I don't do my bows upside down, they end up being upside down. So I've actually turned this around, made my bunny ears, and I'm going to tie my bow this way. And by tying it upside down, it's actually going to be the perfect right way round bow on the other side. I don't know why that is when you don't do the knot first, but it's something that I just kind of learned. I kept tying them and they kept being upside down, so I thought, okay, well, if they're upside down, let's try it backwards and see what happens, and it works beautifully. So now I've got this gorgeous bow on the front of my ornament, and then I just have to trim up these ends just the tiniest bit. Oh, and I'm also going to just kind of, ribbon really will go where you tell it to if you pull it into place. There we go. So I just want those kind of hanging down a bit more than out, but I don't want them covering up my words either. So, all right, now I'm going to trim these edges. There we go. And this is ready to attach to the front of our card. We're going to use dimensionals to do that as well. So I've got these here, and I'm going to use 3. And so this is kind of nice because the lump that we have there from that knot on the back doesn't matter because we're popping this up anyway, so it won't get in the way when we glue this down. I'm going to pull those off. Pop that on there in a nice little angle. Voila. And then the last thing to do is to add a little bit of bling. So we have some choices. We've got our gingerbread and peppermint acrylic shapes that we can glue on. But I think I want just a little bit of sparkle. So some of you may remember from last year, we had the wonderful gems in our mini catalog last year. Well, they kind of retired. They went on vacation, and they're back. So if you have these in your stash, great. You can pull them out and you know, keep creating with them. If you're like me, you probably used all of them up when we had them and were sad that they were gone. So I'm happy to have been able to grab some more. So I'm just going to throw a few on here. And actually, I think I'm going to, let's see, maybe one up there and a little one there. We've got that bow over here. So let's maybe just kind of bring our eyes down this way a bit more. So there we go, just kind of creating like a nice little diagonal across my card. And that is the finishing touch on our card. So pretty cute little layout here. The red ribbon is in the new mini, Cindy. I believe it's also a carryover actually. So it's called Real Red Sheer Ribbon. And it's in the new mini catalog, but I'm pretty sure, just like the wonderful gems, we had it last go round in the last mini, and they just kind of put it to sleep for a little bit, and it's coming back. The other red ribbon that we have that would totally work on this card is the Real Red, what is this, the satin ribbon. That one would work really well as well. I just liked that because the wonderful gems are a little bit soft and shimmery, that the sheer ribbon is a little bit softer and shimmery. The other one I played with, but it was just too much red and white, is the red and white ribbon from the, it coordinated with the dog set. And it's this one and a black and white twine. But it seemed too busy. So I went with the light sheer ribbon for this one. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Gail. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that and a little sneak peek of some of the products that are coming. So yeah, this gingerbread set is just so fun, so beautiful. I love this one. You're the icing to my gingerbread. I saw somebody actually combine this with the What's Cooking set with the spatula and the bowl and everything, make the cutest little card. So yeah, and this designer series paper is incredible. So lots of beautiful things to create. Let's see here if I can switch back around. There we go. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am going to be posting Christmas cards all week. For those of you who it seems too early, I'm sorry, but I just really need to get it done. And it's a perfect time with the new mini catalog starting up. A great time to grab those sets and, you know, see what they can do. There were a few sets that I wasn't going to purchase, and then I've seen things that friends have created, and I'm having to reconsider some of the things I didn't buy. So yeah, I do have my host code here at the bottom of my screen. If anybody wants to place an order this week, I do have that host code, and you'll get just a little something in the mail with your order from me. And yeah, otherwise, contact me about the product shares if you have questions or if you want to register. And I hope you guys all find a way to stay cool in this summer heat. Bye.